I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
No. We'll do it live. F it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
He's from Iowa, Louisiana, not Iowa. Iowa.
I need to see that charger right quick, bro.
Hey, y'all, this is Ryan Monso, and this is talking about them Cougars from GoCoogs.com. That's Galen Robinson from the Temple.
Yes, sir.
That's Brad Towns from the Fat Cave. And I'm Ryan. Star Pizza. Get you some Star Pizza. 3 locations around the Houston area. They've been family owned and operated since 1976. That's 50 years for the math people. Happy hour all week. $5 off wine by the bottle. $5 wine by the glass. They have reverse happy hour starting in a half hour. They deliver daily to downtown, the Heights, the Med Center, and they have Brad's vegan pepperoni. Yum. Section 12X.
Section12x.com. Bam. You saw what happened yesterday. That is proof that it works. Gear up. You got to look fly to play well.
Facts.
If you're not dressed up, if you're not showing out with Section 12X gear, I mean, you just hurt the program. So hop to it, chop, get on it. And, if you want to push it a little bit further, you can always go visit Galen and get some gear too.
That you can. But this program is on its last legs. It is going to completely fall apart if you don't get your Section 12X.
That is
clearly.
True. I mean, don't tempt fate. Just get it. Just do it. If not, then Section 12X will come and find you and sock you in the mouth.
There you go. Brad Towns telling you how it is.
Yeah, it's just the way it rolls in 12X.
Galen, La Fiesta, Waco, report.
It was decent. It was decent for sure. The
What
margs
does decent
were.
mean?
The margs were. I think they make their margs like Everclear or something. Hey,
Ooh,
all you need is one. Whew.
Hello, baby, turn around.
Yeah, that was very powerful beverage.
Well, thank God you were on that Flix bus back to Temple and you didn't have to drive.
So what
Brad,
was the dinner? What'd you have?
I had some crispy tacos.
Okay.
And it was good flavor. Yeah, it was smooth. Good price. Definitely will return if I'm ever back in Waco for another road win.
Hey man, I'm not gonna visit these places, but
Yeah.
I want to hear about them. I gotta live vicariously through my people.
Hey man, that margarita, Towns.
Everything will taste good after that.
That boy, you're right. Hey, you right.
Hey man,
That mug was strong, man. Strong.
it's like hitting up Club No Minor, baby.
Like that boy was strong for real. Great day though, man. Great day. Great day.
Oh, the game, dude. I was thinking about that today, man, and we really shot terrible, but we still just beat the hell out of them. You don't see days like that often. I mean, it tells you how good the rebounding was.
like we said yesterday, man, they just took their will, and it's just like it's such a helpless feeling when like nothing that you're doing is working.
Yeah.
And everything that they're doing is working. It's like there's literally nothing you can do. It's just complete and utter domination, man.
And it's got to feel even worse for them. See, the thing I love about winning is I like understanding that the other team is really, really in pain. And so the more it hurts them, the better it is.
Yeah.
But
sure.
they do everything that they can, and they get us to miss a shot, and then we get a rebound. And then we miss another shot, and then we get a rebound.
And you can just hear the fans too, like every board is it's like, dude, they were like, man, it was some dudes that was sitting in front of us. They was like, man, they're going to eventually make it. They keep getting the rebound.
Yeah, I think there was one possession we missed 3 straight shots and got the offensive tip outs, and then Manny hit one from 25. It's like that's just demoralizing. That hurts.
Yeah.
All right. Tip out, Galen. Brad, you're 3-0 in the Big 12. Iowa State, Arizona, and BYU also 3-0. He is coming, I'm told, from Emmanuel's camp. Do you have anything you saw in the Big 12 yesterday? I watched some of that Colorado Tech game, and Tech is lucky to get out of Boulder without their second conference loss. That it nearly. Whew. But Kansas is 1-2. Tech is 2-1. You're chasing 4 top 10 teams here, and you could be pretty good and still finish 4th in this conference. It's wild.
Well, I think this program and these teams has made this look a lot easier than it really is. Yeah. And if the first few weeks of the conference season has shown that everybody goes through dogfights, and you never know who it's going to be. So just assume it's going to be everyone the next game. That's just the way it is.
Since he lost to UCF today by 1, Wes really can't win those close games. Memphis loses to FAU to fall under 500. Emanuel is here. We're about to bring him on. Manny, just don't look at this. It's going to affect your virgin eyes. Galen's here on stream. Oh, there he goes.
Yo, yo, yo.
And Emanuel Sharp.
What it do, man?
And it's Houston blue, but
welcome.
White.
Thank you for having me.
What's going on?
Not much. We just got back from practice. Or not just now, but we had practice earlier. Great practice. And I'm in my room with y'all.
All right. If you have questions for Emanuel, we're going to do just like we did with Kelvin last week. If you have good questions for Emanuel, we'll add him, ask him what he thinks. Can you just, to start off with, you get back from Waco. What is your day's routine been?
Today it was a quick turnaround. So today we had, usually we have a day off after the games, but since this is a quick turnaround, wake up, I usually shoot with HP and Lois around 11. If we don't have lift is usually around 10. Do my shooting with HP at 11, then probably chill out at the facility, eat lunch, and then we usually are on the floor 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock until whenever practice is over, usually around 6.
So today, coming out of a game, you're in the facility 7-8 hours?
Yeah, that's the routine. The facility is really. I'm at the facility more than I'm at home. So it's fact. Like it's just part of my life. There's nothing wrong with it. I love it. I love it there.
Okay, Galen.
I gotta ask you, bro. Like, how do you reset after, like I said, it's a game that you didn't play that well? Like, what do you do to reset to get back on track? No,
it's really none too complicated. Come home, play my video games, talk to my friends. If it's really bad, I usually get on the phone with Coach Kellen, talk it out if it's that serious. But after
Mm.
Waco, nobody really played too great, but he's got flush it. Especially in the Big 12. You got games after games after games. You can't. I don't like to dwell on stuff too much.
Mm.
Game is over, flush it, get back home, get my rest, and it's really on to the next one.
Mm. So, what is one thing that you wish you knew as a freshman that you know now, that you've learned now?
Mm, I probably it's nothing specific, but I would if it was one thing I could tell myself, I'll probably tell myself that like it's never as bad as it seems. Like especially through 4 years, we've had many, bumps and bruises. And sometimes the world be feeling like it's falling apart, but in hindsight, it's not that bad. It's never that bad. And a lot of this stuff is really just it's lessons. Like it's something you learn from. It's never stuff like some people be down in the dumps 24/7. Like it's probably never that bad. But you're young. You don't know what you don't know what you don't know. So
Yeah.
that's probably one thing I wish I knew.
Mm-hmm. So, probably my last one. Who would you say like has had the biggest influence on your game?
On my game, you talking
Yeah.
about like from watching another player or like
So
just
with
watching
like
on my
so let's
own?
say somebody from the program and then somebody who's outside the program, whether it be watching them or it might be your dad or something like your dad, like whoever.
I'd probably say overall, definitely my dad.
Mm,
Overall, for sure, my dad. I grew up watching him play. He was a professional. Grew up going to his games. Since I can remember. How I wanted to be like him. I wanted to
mm,
be playing in those big games in front of big crowds, having the fans. When I was younger, I used to stay after the games with him. He's sneaking out the back of the gym, trying to get away from the fans chasing him. Derek Sharp, Derek Sharp. Like that's the stuff I wanted. I wanted to be like him. And then growing up, he was always my coach. Uh, Especially when I moved to the States. He's my high school coach. He was my AAU coach. I'm with him all day, every day. He's really like crafting, really giving me the blueprint on how I'm supposed to look. He's telling me, and I'm just listening to everything he says. And
mm.
I mean, he's really crafted me to be the player I am. And then once I got here, you know how Samp is. Samp is, the number one mentor. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'd probably say my dad. And then once I got here, my dad's always in my ear telling me great, positive things, keeping my head on straight. And then having Samp right there is basically like, you know what I'm saying? I
Hmm.
can't have two better mentors than my dad and then having Samp in my corner.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We've heard a lot
Hey,
about you. Go ahead.
hmm No, I was gonna say, shout out to my mom.
Well, that was the next question.
Cause yeah, yeah, my mom. All the toughness side of me and the rough and the nasty side of me, that's all my mom. My mom a real maniac on the court. I'm telling you, y'all better do y'all research.
Well, I wanted to ask you about her, actually. We hear
Uh-huh.
about Derek a lot. We don't hear about your mom very much. Tell me about her and about her career playing.
She was she was a player, I'll tell you that. She was athlete of the year in Canada. So that alone should tell you how big she was over there. And then she moved all over. I know she played professional in Portugal. Then she was playing in Israel where she met my dad. And she's so hard nosed. Like exactly I think that's why she liked Sam so much whenever he
Mm,
was recruiting me. Cause when she got on the Zoom call and saw like what they were about, that resonates with her a lot. She's real. She the first one to tell me to elbow somebody in their face. Like that's the type of player she is. Like she's not going for nothing. And she's played a big part of my life. She's my biggest fan, my number one fan. If you have been to the games, she's loud. She's very into it. And I know when she was pregnant with me, she was at the courts in Israel playing with grown men, playing pickup basketball while she was pregnant with me. That alone should tell you how
crazy.
serious she is about it.
That's
That's
pretty
crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
said your toughness comes from her. How does that transfer from mom to kid?
DNA. I mean, hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Killing me.
I don't know. It's just since I was young, you know, that's just what she's ingrained. The same way Samp gets his players to play hard and play a certain way. You know, growing up with my parents, you know, that's the two people I'm listening to the most. So, you know, they instill values in me the same way Samp instills values in his players.
An influence.
Okay.
Yep.
Yesterday, you passed a guy named Clyde Drexler on the all-time scoring lists. So you got the top three up there. You come down. You're a point behind Tashawn Thomas. You pass Clyde. There's also a guy at 23 there that you're now 50-plus points ahead of.
I gotta let
Did
him know about that.
Did you let him know? Did he talk about it? Did he ask you about it? He acknowledge it?
Nah, really, I didn't even see that, Jamal. I promise I didn't. I really didn't. But you know, it's great to be, you know, have my name up there with, you know, the greats that have been at the school. So, you know, it means a lot.
So you need 20 points and you move up past Tashawn and pass Andre Owens into 18th. I think you can get into the top 10. But I'm looking at Elvin Hayes right there.
Yeah.
All right. All you have to do
Right,
is
that's
average
crazy.
62.5 points a game
Okay.
through the
Gotta
end of
get
the
'em up.
tournament.
Hey, yeah, we locked in.
That's all you have to do.
That's fake, bro. That is fake.
And
That's
Elvin
crazy.
only
Nah,
played
Elvin,
3 years.
That's what I'm saying. That's fake.
What did he average? What was his career average? You know, he
He was
averaged
getting to
I think it
bucket.
was over 30.
Nah, that's crazy.
And
Nobody
also,
touching that.
I bet it's 14, 15 rebounds.
Oh yeah.
It's just a different world that he played in.
Yeah.
20, almost
He was a player.
2,900 points in 3 years. That's
It's a
wild.
crazy graphics.
Yeah.
That's a lot of buckets, bro.
All right.
I have a question about something that happened last season. Where is this title belt?
That is it in my locker? I think it's in my locker. It's either in my locker or I gave it to my mom. I really don't remember.
You don't know if it's in your locker?
I think it's in the top of my locker. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. All right.
Pretty sure.
I'm just curious. I think I would know where my championship belt was. But
yeah, I think
you gotta make room for the new one, man. Gotta make room for the new one.
Yeah, you're right. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? We ain't worried about last year, man.
You got that halal plate thing that 2 years ago, and then you got a championship belt. It's gonna get better. And there's probably some rings in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So I got one more question.
Okay.
How does your role differ this year as opposed to last year? Like for this team, what's different about your role?
I'll probably say the most noticeable role for me is the leadership. 'Cause I thought last year I had a leadership role, but this year is way different than last year.
Just real young guys.
Because that's what I'm saying. I had to take my leadership to another level. And there's a learning curve with that. Just because, I had leaders come before me, but what I realized is that just because the way they led worked for them doesn't mean it's gonna work for me. You know what I'm saying? You gotta find your own voice. And I think that's what I was doing the whole summer, was trying to figure out how to get to the younger guys in the best way that I could, in the most effective way. And sometimes you really got to jump on somebody, and I can't have a problem with that. I got to be okay with that. I got to be okay with coming out my comfort zone, because that's really, I'm a pretty nice guy. So I got to come out my shell a little bit, but that's what I got to do. If that means we're gonna win, I got to do it. So it's been a process for sure, but I say the leadership has taken a big jump from last year to this year.
That's important too, because like everybody can't lead the same way, because we're all different.
Yeah.
It's like I'll never forget, bro. Quantas, he used to want me to like just fight everybody, and it's like, Q, that's not my personality, bro. Like you can do that, cool. That's not me. Like I'm gonna pick them up if they down. Q wants you if they down. He wants you to dig them lower. Like,
kick them,
hey, bro.
I completely feel you, bro.
That's great.
Like that.
So Kelvin said something last week about needing leadership on the court and off the court. And he said something about make sure your closet is clean. And then I heard Milo said it. And then I heard you say it. Is that a Samsonized phrase? Okay. Just wanted to make sure because I didn't think y'all were all.
Nah, it's definitely a Samsonite phrase. That's what I
Okay.
realized is that I'm starting to talk like him. I think it's a problem.
It's a yeah,
But
bro. It's an issue. It's an
it's
issue, bro.
weird. Like I say his sayings every single day,
Bro,
like throughout
crazy.
my day, throughout any.
It's
I could be in the
become
grocery
some
store.
people's
I could be in the grocery
personality.
store. Yeah, no, seriously. But it's good. It's good though, because it's a great way to look at life. You know what I'm saying? Like he teaches you lessons that apply to all areas of life.
Real, yeah. Yesterday I said, yeah, I didn't know if I was on foot or horseback. I said that about myself, and it's just like how smooth it came off the tongue. I'm like, dang, I'm really tripping. I'm really tripping, bro.
Nah, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Oh, man. It's talking about.
Question. Go ahead.
Didn't JD? Didn't he say he gonna write a book about some Samsonism or something? Did he say that?
He's been saying that. But
Hey man, we need. Hey, we really might need that for real. Have the quote and
Like,
then what it
you could
means
write a whole
under it.
book.
Like, yeah, we need that for real.
Emanuel, how much more can this team grow, and where do you see it coming from?
A lot. That's the good thing about us right now is that we're not even close to our ceiling right now, which is, that's great. But, we have things to work on. Defensively, as a group, I feel like we can be more connected on both areas of the floor, mainly on defense. But, I can see it coming along though. I can feel us getting closer and becoming more connected. And that's the best way to be, towards the end of the year is trending upward and getting better. We're not even shooting it well. Like I was really happy with Baylor because we shot it terribly and we still found a way to, blow them out. And that spoke to, how this team is growing because I feel like 3 months ago this team wouldn't have done that. Like if we would have shot bad, I feel like it would have been really close with Baylor. But we're finding other ways to win that don't have to do with scoring. And we know the scoring is going to be there. We're not going to shoot terribly for the rest of the year. We're a really good offensive team. Way better. I think we're a way better offensive team than last year. I just don't think we shot it well the other night. But I think that's where we can improve a lot. Is be connected defensively, and then the shots are just gonna come as they come.
That was something I definitely noticed. Like let's say like last month, I'll be watching the game and I can see a rotation happening, but they just didn't see it yet. It was like a delay.
Yeah.
And like yesterday, it was in the same, I seen the play happening and I seen guys making reads and I'm like, wow, they're really like turning the curve. Like they're really figuring it out because they were on time with their reads, man.
Yeah.
That shit is cool to watch.
Yeah, we getting better, man.
No.
Another viewer question. If you weren't playing this sport, what's a completely different career, hobby, or path you would be obsessed with?
If I wasn't playing this sport, that's a good question. I mean, I'm gonna stay away from saying another sport because that's obvious. I'd probably be playing football or something. But if it didn't have to do with sports, I don't know. I'd probably be a gamer or something, or like a streamer. I'll probably stream with Mo. Me and Mo would start a stream. Like we could stream. Cause I'd be seeing these dudes. I'd be like, bro, I'm funnier than them. Like I can if they can stream, I can for sure stream. You know what I'm saying? But probably a streamer, one of them. Streamer or gamer. Something to do with my personality.
What does gaming have to do with your personality? I'm lost on this. I don't know.
Okay, cause see, if I'm playing the game, also depends on what game you're playing. But if I'm playing the game, it's more so the reactions rather than the actual gameplay of the games.
Okay.
I feel like people would be very entertained if they could see me and Ramon play a video game together.
What game are you playing? Yeah.
A lot of games. I'm big on story mode games. I play probably stuff y'all ain't never heard of, but along with the sports games, 2K. But some of my story mode games, I love Uncharted, Elden Ring, Wukong. Like those are some of my favorite games.
Okay. Red Dead Redemption.
Yep. Yeah. Red Dead Redemption. I haven't done a full playthrough of that, but I like games like that.
Does your family still have the squirrel?
No, he graduated, man.
Graduated.
He moved
That's
out
good.
for sure. Moved
Okay.
out.
And when you go back to Tampa, you fish, but it looked like that was a bass. You're freshwater?
Everything, but when I go back to Tampa, it's usually we're not going deep sea. So my grandma has a lake in her
Okay.
backyard. Fish, bass, bluegill, freshwater.
Have you living in Tampa and now in Houston? And I'm not saying this in a bad way. Have you kind of become a redneck?
Whoa, a
A
redneck?
little country,
I
a
don't
little
know.
country, a little. Okay, I'm just curious. That's a word I would
Can't
use.
go with
Maybe you
that.
won't use
Can't
it.
go with
Okay.
that one. I'm not gonna be able to sleep well at night knowing I'm a redneck.
Okay, that's fine.
Nah.
Well, how about
Not a
this?
redneck.
Since you love nature, what's your spirit animal and why?
Ooh,
That's another good
spirit
one.
animal. That's a good question. A spirit animal. Spirit animal. If I could come back as an animal, what would I be? I don't know. Probably like a what's them sharks called? Them sharks that are harmless, like the ones with the spots on them.
A
Big
harmless
sharks. They're
shark.
not really. Are they whales? Harmless. They don't got teeth. What's it
A shark with
called?
no teeth.
Son, that's a soft answer. Wow. How are you a shark and not a killer? That boy
I just
said,
wanna
I'm
be
going
a
to be a harmless shark. Well, son, be a butterfly.
Actually, yeah. No, I'll probably be an orca whale. I'll probably be an orca whale.
Orca whale.
Probably be an orca
Okay.
whale.
right.
They real smart.
Okay.
I didn't think you'd be saying anything that was aquatic. I don't know why I thought land.
I love the water, bro, and I gotta be at the top of the food chain.
Facts.
Here's the fact check. Elvin averaged 31 points, 17 rebounds for his career at U of H. That ain't bad.
93 games, averaging 31.
Yeah.
That means he's got a lot of 40 balls.
Yes, he might got a couple of 50 balls.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
30
Well,
balls.
A bad night was 20.
Right.
That team in
Yeah, that's-
1968 scored 100 points in like 15 straight games. It was just a different kind of basketball than y'all play.
That's wild.
How
Of
did
course, no 3-point line.
and no 3-point line? It was 20 more years. How do the current players decide on recruits that are quote unquote one of us?
I mean, actually, it started with the coaching staff. They do a great job of recruiting, and they always you'll hear Sam say he recruits high character guys. So, when they come in here, they're already guys that have passed the coach Sam test, like the first step.
Yeah.
But I would say one of us, that'll probably be taking Coach Sampson's coaching and not trying to, I don't know, rebel against it or turn the other way, because Coach Sampson is undefeated in them battles right there.
Never lost.
That's what I'm saying. He never lost to them battles. So, I don't think I haven't played with anybody that's come through here that wasn't one of us. If they aren't one of us, they become one of us. And that's what the summer's for. That's what September's
Jeez.
for. I feel like if you get through September, you one of us.
Hey.
That's really it.
Hey, that was a bar. That was a bar you just said, bro.
that's what I said.
Put him in the
Conditioning
booth,
month,
man.
right
Put him in the booth. Sheesh. They're not one of us. They become one of us. Real culture shit.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
that's what the leaders are for. That's what it's our job to really make sure they understand that they got to become, one of us, and they got to be willing to be coached by Coach Sam.
Beautifully stated, man.
Emanuel, did you see any of Galen on the ESPN Plus broadcast of Middle Tennessee?
I haven't. I need to hear some clips.
Yeah.
You doing your thing? You doing your thing?
Hey, bro, I was told that I did a good job, man. But hey, man, it's like I forgot I did that for real. That's crazy. Dang.
That's funny. I'm a real sports broadcaster. Yeah, G.
That's wild, bro. That's wild. You know what's crazy though? I seen bro, they had Snoop Dogg commentating a game.
Hey, I
That
saw
was the
that. That
most
was
that was
funny.
the most entertaining.
I'm telling you, cause
I was thoroughly entertained. And I'm
I
like,
see
bro,
the
that's just
clip.
so random. Y'all got Snoop doing a broadcast. Like,
Cause he's
what
bro,
isn't
he's
he
an
new? What doesn't he
entertainer.
do?
So
I'm
that
telling
was
you, if I'm
Snoop's
watching the game,
bowl game. It was called
he's
the
funny.
Snoop
If I'm
Dogg
watching the
Bowl.
game,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
that's funny. He need to do more of that.
For
Facts.
sure.
Facts.
There's another comment asking you about who is your favorite Houston area rapper?
I'm not even gonna sit here and lie. I don't know.
It's okay if you don't have
Houston
any.
rappers.
Okay, I don't know
don't
him
have
either.
any.
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott. I didn't
Meg the
even know he was
Stallion.
from Houston. Meg the yeah, won't say that. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh God. Beyonce. Sheesh.
I'll go with Beyonce. She ain't even a rapper, but if she
There
from
you
Houston,
go. It works.
who don't love Queen B?
Feel me? Queen B. Lord.
So Miami of Ohio was in that Snoop Dogg Bowl, and they went with the Snoop Dogg chains on the helmets.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah,
That's
so
hard.
it was a pretty cool situation.
It's
I did
very.
not
I
hear
didn't even. I
him.
thought you was talking about the basketball game. I seen the basketball
No,
game that he was coming.
yeah, he commented on the I think it was a Warriors game, I think.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
facts. Because I heard he was talking about Jimmy Butler. He said, "To the cup, Jimmy."
Yeah, to the cup.
But
It's like, bro, it was like, and the thing is, bro, it's like what made it so good is he was saying stuff that he would say if he was watching the game by himself.
that's
Like
right.
pure reactions, bro. He said, "Oh, you too little."
Yeah.
Oh man.
Honestly, that's what we need more of.
Nah, facts for sure. For sure.
Thanks.
would you ever play for Team Israel if given the chance? I know you did it a little in your past.
I already have, but you know, I've with our summers, you know, Galen though, our summers are so heavy and they're so busy. You know, I'd be real focused on getting the team right and being present with all the Houston stuff, but in the future for sure.
That's
How
crazy.
quickly did this freshman class gel with this team?
Gel. You talking about like all three of them? Like,
Well, 4 with Bryce.
I mean, because I still feel like we're still gelling right now.
Okay.
We're still gelling right now because it's a long process, and I feel like we're gonna gel at the right time. I feel like come the tournament, we're gonna be playing our best basketball, and I think that's when we're gonna have, gelled completely. But I think we're right there. Like I said, like how Galen said in the Baylor game, he can see us improving on reads and stuff like that. I could see us getting better game by game. So, it's nice to see, us gelling, in real time. And it's not even just with the freshmen. It's the freshmen. It's me, Los, and JoJo in a new role. We're also trying to get used to our different roles and how that works with the new freshmen. So it's not just them that needs the gelling. I think it's just us as a group because this team is, and it's not even just them three. But this is Chase's first year playing. I haven't played a full year with Ramon for real yet. Um, and then Khalifa's a transfer. He's still gelling. He was out all summer with a back issue, and then he's just coming back with his knee. I feel like we're all still gelling right now. But I feel like we're gonna be at our best when we need it.
Cool. Mom of 3 boys who are at every home game, what advice would you give young kids who are watching you play and looking up to you from the stands?
Are they in the sense of basketball? Like they want to be basketball players?
Sure.
If so, I mean, whatever they do, I would just say, I know it sounds cliche, but work your hardest. I feel like one thing I've learned here is, what's the worst that can happen if you, go all out and, give maximum effort in whatever you do and having the right attitude about it. There's nothing negative that's going to come from that. So, if you want to be good at something or you want to, get the most out of anything, if you give it maximum effort and stay consistent with it with a great attitude, I feel like you're going to improve at it and be great at it.
Okay. And how did you lose the weight over the summer? Did you cut back on foods or anything like that?
Try not to eat out as much, kind of just stay and drink more water. I was drinking more water too, making sure I'm not drinking my calories, no juices, no lemonade, no none of that. I kind of just drink water and, low calorie drinks. Uh and just eating more or organically, I eat more salad, eat more chicken, just how you should be eating, just being more focused on it.
That's
Okay.
a mature guy.
Yeah.
Galen, you got anything else?
I ain't got nothing, man. It's just been a pleasure watching your growth, bro. The evolution.
Yeah.
It's went from a cone to a perennial perimeter defender, man. It's been a joy. It's been a joy to watch, bro.
That's
Like
it,
that.
man.
That Samson program, he will have you
Yeah.
doing stuff that you didn't believe you can do, and that's just it's just good seeing guys buy in, man, and
Yeah.
that are about all the right things too. So proud of you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a Hall of Fame coach.
Oh,
Thank you.
real
Thank you.
quick. Do you know when is a 2K coming out this year with U of H in it? The DLC?
Yeah, I think it's this next season. It should be in the next month and a half or so. I know they're releasing it with season 5 and it's season 4 right now. So probably in a month and a half, 2 months.
That's hard.
Just in time for Mario. Okay.
Yeah.
I got to get that.
I was worried about that, but I'm glad you're going to get it.
Hey, man, I got it on sale. I got it on Steam sale.
I don't know what that means. All right. Thank you, Emmanuel. We appreciate it.
For sure. Thank you guys for having me.
All right, big dog.
All right, bro.
Emanuel Sharp. Cut him off. Oh, well.
Hey, man, you can just tell when someone is just oozing with positivity. Like, man, the kid is always in an upbeat mood. Man, his journey has been crazy. He came in as a overweight, just almost man, and just to be where he is right now, like, man, that's cool.
I mean, you talk about a guy who was a clean slate, 100% right there.
Yeah, literally blank canvas.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it wasn't that blank. It was a lot of pounds on that canvas. Oh, man.
Of all the guys we've seen kind of take that next step, Emanuel physically has been that guy for sure. You and I interviewed him. I think it was our second interview we did together was with Emanuel. He had to, back in the day when you had to.
That was, I thought he was the first.
Jamal was the first.
You're right.
And Emanuel was the second. And the NIL rules were so goofy then you had to turn his U of H shirt inside out to sit down for the interview. And now the school's paying him millions of dollars. Yeah. Not quite the same, but good guy, always ready to do anything we ask. And we appreciate that of him. Old man Towns is going to play 2K.
Hey, man,
I don't understand any of this.
I usually get it on sale. I'm not good at it. I just do it for the game, for the simulation of it. I stick to other games. See, what y'all don't know is I'm just an old ass man who plays a lot of video games. I get that.
We gotta stay young, man. Got to stay in the loop, man.
When we started doing these podcasts, Towns was kind of guiding me through things, and I was like, "How do you know?" He's like, "Oh, I'm on a video game podcast." And I was like, "What the? I don't even know this whole other life you have.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Hey man, I've been helping run a video game clan for old guys for 10 years now.
That's hard.
That's what you do. You know, older guys, once they get past 30, it's like a lot of folks' life slow down. It's like, might as well just meet up online and go blow stuff up.
Facts.
Love
Great
Emanuel Sharp, great encourager and leader. Be strong and confident. Galen Robinson is a legend.
Appreciate that. It's kind of crazy to read.
You're telling me. Yeah. Good
That's
questions from y'all. We appreciate it.
Facts.
Poor Emmanuel's internet was kind of shaky there, but he got through it. He gamed it. So, Galen, you can step out. We appreciate you hanging out. We're going to talk football now.
You don't have
Transfer
to.
portal. You can stay.
You could chill.
I mean, I'll stay. I'm not going to have much input.
Yeah, this is my favorite part of Galen living in Temple. He's all ready to do whatever we ask. So, we're going to be joined here in just a second by Martin Marroquin. I said it wrong again. But Star Pizza, get you some Star Pizza. They are our best friends. World famous Tuesday and Friday, all you can eat buffet. Thursday, you got the wine specials, pasta specials. Towns is vegan pepperoni, vegan crust.
Hey man, you saw you heard E-Man talk about how he's losing weight, mixing in some salads. I had to write that down because I'm not real familiar with the green stuff on my plate. But I will say Star Pizza's got a fantastic variety of salads if you like all kinds of fancy stuff. They got a Caesar salad that's perfect for me because it comes in a big giant bucket, and that Caesar dressing is fantastic.
Yeah. Jamie tells me about these salads quite a bit too, and I'm so skeptical from you especially.
Hey man, you got to take it from us chubby guys, those big bone fellas. We know what is good.
Big boned fellas.
And if we're telling you salad's good, we ain't lying. We're not lying to ourselves.
You might be lying to yourself. So, all right, we're going to bring in Martin. Martin, welcome.
Welcome.
How's it going, guys?
Good to see you.
We are great. Just pumping through here on a Sunday night. If I asked you from the time we talked a week ago to now, what's the biggest development for U of H in the portal?
Just generally?
Yeah. Or whatever.
They got better. I know it's simple, but they did a good job last year bringing in players to improve the team, but they added even more talent. They're taking a step you would hope a program takes after winning 10 games. They're not doing the same thing that they previously did where they're just bringing in bodies and like patching things together. You're adding all conference talent, regardless of the conference. It's still the best in, that group of area that the players are playing. And they added 3 all conference players on the offensive line to patch the holes or fill the gaps that they needed to with even better players that they did with last year. I think the most important thing that you can't really patch together or pretend with is an offensive line. And so having Connor Wigman coming back, having Amari Thomas coming back, year number 2 with the offensive coordinator, Slade Nagel, I think it's a big deal not to just bring in offensive players that have started, but bring in, for lack of a better term, elite players at the level that they played. And I think that says a lot about where the program is, how they're getting these players in terms of funding and stuff. I don't know the numbers, but obviously they're being backed if they're getting these guys in.
Ryan, you're muted.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Brad.
What was your question?
I want you to ask a question. Jesus.
My question for you is, who's next?
Well, as things sit, I would say of the positions that I think needed to be filled, the only place that I am concerned, I guess, with is pass rush. They have brought in bodies to help with the run game. Ajiro Edogbare, I believe is how you say his last name, from Yale. Is a big body they brought in. Thomas from Oklahoma State is another fire hydrant type build, like Carlos Allen. So you're getting an archetype there to, hopefully fill in that role. But I think, losing Eddie Walls, his production has not been replaced one for one. Not that you were going to do that necessarily, but I don't think they've brought in a player in the portal to fit that role yet. I do think there are players on the roster that can take that role if asked to. For example, Latrevia McCutcheon, I think, can do anything you want him to do on the front line. He might be pound for pound the best athlete on the entire team. So I think maybe asking him to step into that role, along with obviously playing the jack with Brandon Mack, but maybe the staff is just comfortable with what they have, and cool. I mean, I'm going to trust them after 2 years of what the program looks like that what they want is what is going to work. But, there's younger guys that have, good frames. Forget the kid's name now that I'm bringing him up, but Darius Washington, for example, he's 6'6", 265. You have Chance Bryant that was seeing the field in some capacities. So there's guys, Travis Buhake, you have DK Mays. There's guys on the roster that I think they trust. They're developing these guys. They brought them. Some of them were commits where they were previously. So I'm going to trust that they have a plan. But of all the positions, they've added some linebackers. They did a good job adding veterans at corner. Pass rush is still, as a fan, I would be questioning what the plan is. Not necessarily not trusting the staff, but just curious what they're going to do there.
Are you expecting a late? I mean, it seems like things got started off really fast for a lot of schools, and of course, it flattens out at some point. Do you see a late surge coming on now, or I guess once the title game happens, I guess you're going to see another big flood at the end?
It's possible. So the thing that I don't understand is I know that the guys in the championship game have like a 5-day window to enter, give them their opportunity to hit the portal.
Right.
But I don't know how that's going to work with classes, because once classes start, I don't know how you bring a guy in. I'm sure there's an answer for that the NCAA has considered. I don't know.
You can add guys until drop date. So
okay. So there you go. Well, cool. So, I mean, I do see that potentially. For example, Oregon just had 4 defensive linemen announced they were hitting in the last hour. 2 of them are from the city of Houston. Ashton Porter specifically, the previous staff, I know for a fact, recruited and had him on campus several times. He went to Cy Ranch. Toby Hastrup, I believe is how you say his last name.
Yeah.
He had like a very big surge in his senior year. He went to Made Creek. I'm confused on how you actually pronounce it, but so those guys potentially could be, the staff could have their eyes on them. Maybe they want to come back home. That's speculation, of course, not breaking news there or anything. But of course, I think as these guys hit the portal, any staff is going to do their due diligence, and if they can bring in talent, bring in talent.
I think Ashton Porter is a guy to watch.
I think so.
Is what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Yeah, they offered him, the Fritz staff offered him while they were at Tulane when he was in high school. And I don't think those guys just throw out offers and then hope and pray. Pretty sure they were in contact with him at the time. So there's probably some relationship that's left over there.
Before we get back to that, Cougar Sports, the offshoot of the Daily Cougar that are now their own independent thing, says Emanuel Sharp on the GoCoogs podcast is a spirit animal. Is an orca whale because they're real smart. Cougar Sports says Emanuel confirms that his family pet squirrel Milton has graduated. He moved out for sure. He was a rescue from the hurricane in 2024. Shout out to the Cougar Sports guys and ladies for watching and commenting on the real stuff that matters. We
That
appreciate
is.
it. Yeah.
That's what moves the needle.
Hey, people love that squirrel. I don't understand it, but I okay.
Hey man, I got into a loop this weekend
Uh-oh.
on Twitter, and my algorithm has blessed me with beavers and marmots and groundhogs all just running around eating and just doing their furry little stuff, and it just makes me smile. So I just keep scrolling through it. Favorite, bookmark that. So
how many beavers have you favorited here, buddy?
Yeah, I'm not on that app.
Okay. That's the first thing that comes out of your mouth.
It's safe for work Twitter. It's wholesome.
Is any Twitter safe for work though? Are we going to be honest here? I don't.
True.
Martin, Yale defensive lineman. What can you tell us about him?
I'm going to go with Ajiro for now because I think I'm at least getting that right. I don't want to butcher his last name. But he missed this past season, I believe, with an ACL tear or injury. But he's a big guy. He looks the part, certainly. He's like a first off the bus kind of body. He's like 6'3", 305. I think he's going to help more specifically with run defense, just based on his history. Not a lot of production as a pass rusher, not to say that they won't figure something out here, but I think that's more the intent with bringing him in. I will say Ivy League guys in general in the trenches have good hit rate.
Okay.
Because most of the time, the way it works for Ivy League guys, they transfer as graduates. So they're physically developed. They've been playing that position for a long time, and those are pretty technical positions. So they figured it out. They've been able to see the field at that level. Ivy League football is pretty good football, especially in the trenches. And so you're getting a player that's ready to play and knows what he's doing. I'm not going to get into obviously he's intelligent, but so he can pick up whatever they're asking him to do. But he's going to come in ready to help the team with the 1 year that he has left to play. There's guys like Clay Patterson, Thor, I can't remember his last name, but a Harvard grad, went to Louisville, had a great year. But there's just on the offensive side too. Jalen Travis, I believe, was at Princeton before he transferred somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I could be confusing it with somebody else, but there's a lot of good track record with Ivy League players in the trenches coming to up G5, P4 level and being productive.
Yeah. Hey, Brad.
Yo.
Say this name.
Ego Dog Bear.
Ego Dog Bear. Thank you, Mr. Beaver.
That's the most say it how it looks name I think that's ever existed.
I really.
That's a badass
until he
name
tells us
say
different.
It like that.
Yeah. If he comes in and tells us different.
Yeah, I wonder if that's how you actually pronounce it though, like Ego Dog Barry or something like that, or just
right.
Is it?
Yeah. I know it gets.
But you got that easy, Towns.
Like Ego Dog, Ego Dog, and whatever. I like it, man. That's nice.
That is nice.
Okay, so here's who we are. I'm looking at a guy in hold on, let me pull it back up. Trent Walker from Oregon State. Overmeyer from UTSA. I think we got our receiving room pretty much lined up to do some real damage. Am I crazy in thinking that?
So I see some questions about, are we going to get another receiver? What happened with Chris Barnes, who ended up committing to Oklahoma State? He was a Wake Forest transfer, North Shore grad. I think when they signed Trent Walker, they kind of established what the receiver room was going to look like going forward, because unfortunately, Boogie Johnson is not going to be able to play this year. But if you look at what's remaining, I mean, Boogie was the only player leaving the receiver room that had any real target share. Mekhi Mutes also graduated on, but he wasn't. I mean, he had kind of been phased out as more of a returner than anything. So you're bringing everybody back. You're adding the Oregon State guy, Trent Walker, and you're bringing in Patrick Overmeyer to essentially fill the Koziol role. I'm not saying he's going to be as productive, but that is the kind of player he's going to come in and be expected to be utilized in that way. So I think you've established, those guys are going to fill in those roles. And then you still have, Kobe Young, who I imagine they want to continue to get on the field and have him develop. Jaquise Martin was getting some time. They have the tight end room was pretty established. If McGarry didn't get hurt, he was seeing the field just as much as Koziol was. Turtle Frederick was playing well. Caleb Thomas got a lot of snaps. So I don't think there was a lot of room to bring in multiple tight ends. And I think they got exactly the kind of tight end in Patrick Overmeyer that they would want. Huge body, athletic, can catch the ball, not just be a red zone threat, but stretch the field down the middle. You're bringing Amari Thomas back. He's going to continue to get, targets. He's going to be the number one in the pass game, be it receiver or tight end. So I think they have what they want.
Yeah, you weren't going to get Barnes and Walker. It just you were targeting both and seeing who fit and who said yes. And the first guy that says yes gets the get, and that's just how it's going to go. The Ole Miss linebacker, what do we like about him?
So just experience for one. You love that.
Okay.
He's played as a full-time starter for 1 year. His second year at Marshall, he was the full-time starter. He got almost 900 snaps there. And he played a lot. He played almost 400 snaps, and in the college football playoff this year for Ole Miss. So you're getting another veteran in a room that was bringing back two guys that had played a decent amount of football, and Carmichael Glass and Sione Fotu. So, I didn't necessarily expect them to go after a linebacker. I get why they would want to bring in another one. Losing Pup and not being 100% certain of what you have in Richmond. I really like him as a prospect, but again, they need to be sure that they have guys that can do what they want, at all times. You bring in as many players as you can depth-wise. But yeah, I think experience, and not just experience in the terms of getting snaps, but getting snaps in important games and tough situations.
When the numbers he's put up, it's just straight up, he's a producer.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that's going to get after it. 120 tackles at Marshall, 50 in more limited time at Ole Miss. That's a dude that's going to find the ball and get after it. And that's exactly what that's the type of defenders that I think that Armstrong succeeds with.
Yeah. Yeah. As a full-time starter at Marshall, he had 42 stops is how PFF refers to basically a play where you disrupt a play and ruin it for the offense. And that's 5% of his snaps. He stopped the offense from doing what they want. And it's a pretty good number. Carlos Allen he was like number 2 in DTs in the country with about like 35 or 40, if I remember correctly. So linebacker's going to have more opportunities, but that's a good number that the guy is seeing what the offense is doing and he's stopping it from happening. He's disrupting things. So that's what you want in the middle, is a guy to disrupt what's happening for the offense.
Martin is the president of the Harvey Broussard fan club.
Mm-hmm.
I would gladly take a Portal guy over Broussard, or Martin would love more speed for Wigman. Martin?
I wouldn't. Obviously, I want to keep Harvey Broussard for another year. I don't think speed is necessarily going to be an issue. I know that's specifically what Chris Barnes did. He was a returner, fast guy, but I saw somebody mention it, and I think it was a very obvious emphasis that the team had. But there are bigger bodies in the receiver room now. Getting rid of Harvey Broussard takes away another big body, and I just don't think you've seen what he's capable of yet. That's still my opinion. I watched this film at Louisiana. I don't think he's a bad player all of a sudden. I just think, circumstances has been what it is. And I think there's going to be more opportunities for guys to make plays. Tanner Koziel he had a lot of gravity, both in Wegman throwing him the ball and seeing him open, and the defense, trying to account for him. But he's not going to be there anymore, and they're going to have to find guys to get the ball to, which I think they can. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I just think you're going to be seeing different, names making plays this year, and maybe more than just Omari Thomas and Tanner Koziel.
Are they going to get someone? This is a comment. Are they going to get someone out of the portal to replace Pancake?
Yes, because they have. His name is Anthony Boswell. He was a freshman All-American from Toledo. He is a redshirt freshman, so ideally he is going to be a Coug for at least 2 seasons, and I think that's a big deal. They're not just getting guys with who have a lot of tread and are looking to just make a name for themselves with the 1 year they have left. Anthony Boswell was a redshirt freshman, and granted, he could leave after this year if he has a great year, but he has 3 more years he could play college football, and he could play them for Houston, as well as Hayden Wright, who I don't think is going to be a starter this year. He's a Northwestern tackle transfer, but again, I think he was a true freshman this year. I could be wrong, but I believe he's redshirted this year, and he's going to have 4 years to play. So he'll have a chance to sit behind Drew Terrell and Ebosele and be like the third tackle, or at least compete for it. And I think that's a big deal. You're going to have, after this year, you're going to have your starting center potentially return, and a guy who's been learning in the program, along with the other guys they brought in at O-line, ready to take that place for Keyshawn Henderson when he is taking snaps.
Okay. Brad, any other questions you have?
No, I'm over the moon with this with what we've done in this portal. I mean, our offensive line, 3 of the guys that we've got that are projected as starters, they've got all conference accolades. They're great off the charts on PFF. On paper, they're the best that we've had in a while. I think I'm real hyped on getting the center, just because 1 of the quality and 2 the youth. I mean, I don't care what conference you're in. If you're a redshirt freshman and you make first team all conference of any conference, you're doing work.
Yep.
Well, I mean, he was a freshman All-American for the entire country.
Yeah, but first team All-MAC. Galen has to drop out here. Galen, we appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Go enjoy Temple.
Absolutely. Catch y'all boys, man. Go Cougs. I'll holler at y'all.
Peace.
All right. Later.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm hype about this team. I can't wait to get everybody in, get them in class, make sure that they can't leave just in case, and then spring should be real interesting, because there's guys that are pegged that you think are going to be starters, guys that you expect to be coming in and plug and play. But guess what? You got to win. You got to win the job. So you never know who's gonna step up. So it'll be fun to watch.
I want to ask a question real quick. If somebody comes in right now and signs a deal, are they able to transfer again before the semester starts? Obviously, it has to do with the contract, but from an NCAA perspective, can they still do that?
So I don't think so. So I don't remember specifically what the details were for like the UW quarterback, right? He signed a deal, but I think that was an NIL deal maybe he signed himself into.
Well, rev share. And
yeah, so
it was a contract he just can't void because you want to leave.
Right.
But now, I'm talking about like from the NCAA, not from necessarily a contract standpoint.
I believe you can. I mean, Hollywood Smothers just did it to Alabama.
Okay.
He was at Alabama from what I read on the internet, which could be true or not, but he was to the point to where he was potentially about to start taking classes, and then he went on a visit to Texas, and now he's going to Texas. So yes, absolutely. And I think until you are committed in the sense that you are signed in terms of actually physically going to class, I think you are a free agent. As far as the NCAA goes, I think the big thing is classes. Once you get in classes, I think you're locked in.
Okay. Did Latravian McCutcheon go into the portal? I just can't say Trey. I just can't. I can't do that. Was that the rumor? Is why he missed the bowl game? It was personal reasons, what we were told. But as far as I know, he is not in the portal and not planning. I have not seen the run it back tweet come out from him, but
right.
I do not think he is.
I think if there was speculation on Houston's side that he was, they would have.
You'd have found out about it by now. I mean, he would have
that, and they would have added a guy already.
Right. You would have been recruiting somebody.
Right. And
you haven't seen that.
I mean, Now again, I don't think that there's a talent like him out there that they're just going to grab. I really think he's an underrated player nationally. To be fair, there's not as much production as you would like, I guess, to have that conversation. But I do think he has potential to be one of the best players at what he does, which could be pretty much anything on the front line. So yeah, I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen anything, but I also haven't seen, like you said, the commitment on the other side where he is absolutely staying.
I just think
it's open for another 5 days.
If he were ready to go, we'd know about it. Like, he can still do it. I mean, he could drop his name in there in the morning. But to go get in the portal in this limited time frame, I think you're at like 99% of kids all over the country who are going in the portal have done it to this point. Both the staffs want to do that and the players want to do it so they can go visit and make a decision. What do you know about the wide receiver from Texas Tech, Turner? What do you have on him?
He is a very good athlete, like just generally a good athlete. He's 6'2", 215, I think. So another big body they're bringing in, as opposed to what they had last year. But he was a very good high jumper. I think he was like top 10 in the state. He high jumped 6'10", and I think 6'6" is like a good number for like an average high jumper. So pretty good there. He was pretty good as a hurdler, and that usually translates well to, like, Manjack was a good hurdler, for example. And generally those guys are just good athletes because you have to think about doing stuff while you're running and not just run. I think that might help some there. But yeah, good frame, good athlete. I think he just didn't get opportunities because Texas Tech has a lot of good players in front of him. He's a redshirt freshman. He's going to have 3 more years. He went to Bryan, so he's from very nearby. And yeah, he's a good kid. When I reached out to him and asked him what was happening, he immediately told me. That's how I found out about the visit, is he was just like, yeah, I'm visiting. So yeah, I mean, I think he's going to have a chance to see the field as well. Physically, he's probably pretty developed in terms of being ready to see the field after 2 years in a power forward football program. He was a good athlete. He played safety. I think he played running back. I think he returned kicks in high school. He was one of those guys that just did everything. So he's a good athlete.
And what about the linebacker ad from Western Kentucky?
So he's played a bunch. You were the one that told me the fun facts about his family and the fact that he's a legacy here. So if you actually want to mention that a little bit.
So his dad was Micah Malone. He was a linebacker here. He played with Wayne Rogers in that era. Micah was here 96 to 99. As far as I know, they have two. Yeah, they have 2 boys, Maddox and Miller. Miller is the kid coming from Western Kentucky. Maddox is the guy that in 2011, when Game Day was here, he was the Heisman kid, which was just such a cool thing. Just Townsend and I were actually there together.
Yep.
And Maddox was the Heisman guy. So he was a real life size Heisman is how I remember it. And I'm looking for the picture and I don't see it. So we're not going to do that, but there it is.
Yeah. I mean, he is also such a cool picture.
I mean, how fun is that?
Yeah.
And every U of H fan that was there in attendance remembers that. You didn't get to hear the Lee Corso bit, but you remember that. So what
Yeah.
about Miller?
So he, I believe, is also a redshirt freshman.
Okay.
So he would come in with several years of eligibility. And I think he is as much a depth add with having the ability to potentially see the field, but in having Jaden Yates and having Sione Fotu return and having Carmichael Glass return, I think those are the guys you should expect to see play linebacker regularly.
Okay.
But, having Zion Taylor leave, who I think was kind of out of position at linebacker, but his frame kind of puts him in a weird spot. Not that that's important, but Corey Platt's gone, for example. You had Jalen Garner graduate out. So there are some spots open to bring in players, and I think that's a great kind of add, bringing in a guy with multiple years to add depth, and maybe next year we'll get a chance to see the field.
I for sure like the multi-year guys. Martin, appreciate the insight. Can you give us sneaky good commitment that isn't on everybody's radar?
So selfishly, I want to say Patrick Overmeyer, but I think he got a lot of attention, more than I expected him to. I think Jalen Mayo is probably going to be, at the end of the year on defense, a player that everybody is happy that they added. Big body. I believe he is also 6'2", about 200 pounds. He's going to be very comfortable in the coach he's playing with because he came over from Stephen F. Austin with Coach Trice. And I expect him to be a starter based on who's in the room at the moment. Of course, it all has to play out between now and game one, but the offense is getting a lot of attention, deservedly so, for the players they brought in. But I think they really needed to add veterans at cornerback because of who they were losing, and I think they've hit. I think it's going to be seen that they hit again at corner, like they've done in the past couple of years, the 2 years that they've been running the program. And I think Jalen Mayo is going to be a player that fans are happy that they brought in. I don't really think that anybody aside from that is like under the radar. We talked about Tyson Turner. I think he's got an opportunity to see the field, but I really think Patrick Overmeyer is going to be very, very good if utilized in a similar way to Tanner Koziel.
I'm going to hop on this comment. I'm not 100% sure, but don't we need to add a kicker? Yes. Sanchez is out of eligibility. Are kicker deals getting done right now? Are you seeing a lot of that? Or do you think that's going to kind of trickle in this week?
I imagine they have a target. And I do see a lot of kickers moving, a lot of even long snappers and punters. I do see that happening, probably because I'm a nerd, and part of it is because it's my job at Catapult. I know a lot of the guys that work with specialists to get them movement. But I think this week is there's a very good chance, especially with some of these playoff programs having their opportunity to open things up and get more active in the portal. They're going to add one, I think. I love Demas personally, but you just haven't seen him do it yet. And with how good Ethan Sanchez was, I mean, he won, I would say, some games, or his performance certainly kept you in the game. 100%. You otherwise don't get to double-digit wins if you don't have him. And he was just so fun. He might have been the most fun player on the team. I love a kicker doing anything to the other sideline. I think it's hilarious. So big shoes to fill for the guy they bring in terms of that. But no, I agree that kicker is important. They need to bring one in. And long snapper. Garza had been here for 11 years. So
yeah,
nobody knew the program better than him. So those are two big positions that they're going to need to fill.
You've got a couple of long snappers that'll probably be. I mean, you lost 2 a year ago. Mm-hmm. You brought a couple in. You added one late, maybe in fall camp or right as the season started. But kickers, watch out for Evan Noel. He's a Florida guy. He was at Florida, was recruited by Chris Couch. He's in the transfer portal, I believe, and kickers is just they're ranked in a different way and by different services. But Coles, who is the kicking camp in Wisconsin, rated him as the number 1 kicker a year ago. So he'd be coming in, I believe, for 3 years. It might be 4. And that's a one to watch. Okay. I don't know if that's the guy, and I don't know how it's going to work, but he's a guy that is right there on that top line. I get to add my kicker stuff. I'm pretty excited. Do you think more offensive linemen are going to be added?
Maybe. I don't see them adding anybody else that's going to push for a starting position at this point.
Okay. So you think they have their starting line?
I do. Now, I was wrong last year on what I thought the starting lineup was going to be by like 1 or 2 guys. But I'm like I told the Kingwood offensive line coach, I'm okay with being wrong in January about the team. So that's okay. But if they get a player that's better than anybody they have to start, hey, good for this staff. That would be incredible. Because I think they got 3 really good players to add to the offensive line. But I don't think adding a guy like the Northwestern transfer is out of the realm of possibility. You know, Hayden Wright has several years left. I could see them where maybe they missed on a guy out of high school, hits the portal. They're like, hey, do you want to come back home? I think that's very possible to add depth guys. But they do have young bodies that this staff has brought in the offensive line room that I think they want to continue to develop. So I think you would have already seen those guys decide to leave if that was going to happen.
What do you think, number-wise, just as an estimate, they are likely to add in the coming week? Do you think it's a handful, 5 or 6?
I think that's probably closer to the realm of possibility. They didn't. I mean, a lot of guys graduated, but they didn't lose a lot of transfers, and so
you didn't lose guys that are going to negatively affect what you're able to do next year.
Right. And the guys that they did lose, for example, Demetrius Hunter, Corey Platt, they've more or less replaced. Or there were guys in place to take those positions. So they were already in a good spot in terms of what they had coming back. I think 5 to 6 is probably a good number. If they brought in like 10 guys, I wouldn't be surprised because they're probably bringing in depth. But again, I think you have to have places for these guys to fit in. And so that would mean other guys transferring out between now and then as well. Because, you only have so many numbers. You only have so many scholarships that you can give out.
I cannot see a spot where you downgraded. Somebody leaves in the portal and you downgraded. Now, like tight end, you lost to graduation. You get that. But in terms of guys that voluntarily left, I just don't see where you didn't either get somebody equal or maybe a little better or could develop into something better. Brad, do you see anybody like?
No.
I mean, I would like to be able to say, well, they missed on this just because it's good conversation, but I can't say it.
Well, and the thing is, even last year, I mean, we had some key contributors leave, but we backfilled with really, really good players, and we did not drop a step. I mean, you thought that, we might be in trouble with losing AJ Holmes, but then here comes the Great Wall.
Yeah. I mean, AJ had a great year, but man, Eddie Walls was everything you could ever hope to get out of the portal. And they most likely got him at a discount.
Yeah.
Especially compared to what Holmes got at Tech. Martin, what about the Ivy League quarterback you mentioned last week?
I'm going to be honest, I don't remember his name, but I think he committed somewhere. No, I think he committed somewhere else. There was at least a player they were interested in, a quarterback that there were 1 or 2 vets that they were interested in, and one of them committed elsewhere. So I think that answers that question.
Okay.
But I think that's still, even though they were having conversations about it with this guy, I think you're going to hear about that the last 2 or 3 days of the portal potentially. Of course, maybe in the morning they announce they signed somebody and I'm wrong. But again, I'll take it. I think that along with kicker are going to be like end of the week announcement kind of things while they figure out either nailing down, whatever weaknesses they think they still have, whether that's finding another pass rusher. I don't know where they're going to get better at this point. We haven't even mentioned Mekhi Hughes since I've been on right now. So,
yeah.
Rashawn Sanford's coming back. Like, I think the running back room is going to look great again. I think special teams, adding a veteran quarterback, maybe a pass rusher. I think that's where you're at right now.
Okay. I don't know about this, so I'm going to turn it to you. Were the Lance Hurd rumors real?
So basically everybody from that LSU O-line, when I was working at U of H, we had in the building or we were in their like final graphic of these are the teams I'm considering. So they were heavily recruited by the Houston staff when I was there, and most of them were Louisiana guys. So I imagine Willie Fritz had conversations with them and either had them in the building for a junior day or something, or spoke to them on the phone, something to that effect. So I think the relationships have been established to where, yes, they probably reached out. How real it was that they were going to be in University of Houston uniforms, I don't know. But I do believe, of course, with the relationships that existed and where they're from, yes, I'm sure conversations were had. But the guys that they got are really good. So, I mean, I'm sure the rumors were true, like I said, to some effect. But I think they're happy with where things are.
It's great to get a guy from a big school that maybe he's transferring sideways, maybe it's a little down, but you're getting guys that are moving up, and I think the motivation for those guys is going to be better. Sometimes you worry that you're getting a guy that's just looking for a final check, and you see it at places like LSU where guys we're coming in to get our money, and I just don't love that, and I would much rather get a guy from Toledo rather than a guy from LSU or Tennessee in Hurd's case.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Let me say this: we have I think there's been offensive line has been a weakness for a long time here.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
We've plugged holes in the offensive line with guys from big programs, P5, back when P5 existed, not P4. But we filled holes with those guys, and our offensive line still sucked. So, I mean, I would rather have the guys that are coming up. I don't care about somebody's third string sophomore who can't get a sniff. Maybe he's third string for a reason. Maybe it's because they got 4 All-Americans in front of them. I don't know. But they're third string, fourth string. Give me guys who are producing. Because I think it's pretty freaking obvious right now. I mean, look at Indiana. They're loaded with G5 players. Great players. I mean, we know this from us being just lowly old G5s. I mean, we had a Patrick Paul. We had guys who could flat out play. Doesn't matter what level you are. If you're producing, you can produce at any level.
Joe says he's a little behind in the stream, but it's Jacquise, Martin, not Jacquise.
I
think I'm the Jacquise.
Jacquise and Jacquise.
I think I said
Martin is saying it.
Won't happen again.
Maybe I'm Jacquise. No, I think I've been Jacquise. Jacquise. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna. It's still way early in the preseason. We're gonna get there, but I mean, it was week 3 before we found out what Connor Wigman's real name was.
Yeah.
So, we might be ahead now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Wait till
just
we
ask
find out
Brad.
the real pronunciation of ego dog.
Yeah, ego dog bear. That could go. I worry about all those beavers out there on Twitter. How do we think this year's roster is shaping up versus last year? The roster is way better. Do they win as many games? I don't know, because that team won a lot of close games and got more out of their talent than anybody I've seen at U of H in a while. Brad, do you think the roster shapes up? Is it better, worse?
I think this is the best roster we've had since 2015.
Really?
Yeah. I think right now, I don't know about the depth, but as far as frontline talent, especially on offense, flat out, I think we are locked in right now. Now, let me say this, because I will be repeating it ad nauseum. People are going to make fun of me and be pissed off in hearing it. It will take time to develop. We have a lot of new bodies, but we got really talented bodies. It'll take a little bit of time, maybe 1, 3, 4 games. It's not going to be pretty all the time, but once we get once we get things rolling, this team is going to be good. Like
Martin, I'm going to ask you a little different question. Town says that the frontline talent is good. He says since 2015 it's the best. Where in that frontline talent can you least lose a guy? Like, where do you think that the talent is good, but maybe you get to that second guy and it's not so great? Obviously, Connor Wickman, right? You don't. Keyshawn is a 5-star, but hadn't played in college. But besides that,
at the risk of sounding boring, I mean, offensive line.
okay.
Because aside from the guys you're bringing in, I mean, you don't have a lot of experience. Now you have the comfort of knowing that it's guys that you're coaching and guys that you brought in, even the younger guys. But, it's easier to scheme, I think, around lesser talent on defense than it is on offense. Because if you just don't have the guys that can do it up front, it's going to make everything so much harder to do. So, you lose a guy on the offensive line, I think, especially center. To nail it down, if you lose Anthony Boswell, you're in a tough spot. I think now you're having Nello who can fill in there, but then you're just moving the spot on the offensive line where you need help. So I think offensive line for sure. But a note about the offensive line this year, even different than last year. When they started the year, they didn't have a guy with any experience playing right tackle. They brought in a bunch of guys who had only played left tackle. Drew Terrell has experience actually playing right tackle. And I think that is a massive difference this year. It's hard to do learning how to play a position going one direction, not just backwards, but doing it to a side. And then for the first time in your life, going and doing it on the opposite side. It's hard to do. Drew Terrell has played right tackle.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, I mean, he's played right tackle. He's done it very well. He's an all-conference player. I think that is a huge deal for the offensive line this year.
A lot of people think you can just kind of substitute right and left pretty easily. But it's just the motor skill of being on the right side and being on the left side is just completely different. And
think about this. I mean,
that first step is virtually impossible to just get right.
Well, yeah. I mean, on one side, you got one foot that's going to be back. You got another foot. But most importantly, I mean, it's easy for everybody to understand this. You're right-handed and you're left-handed. Okay. As a tackle, you're going to be punching. Okay. So what hand are you strongest with? Once you learn how to do that on the left side, you're going to have to relearn the other hand on the right side, and vice versa. I mean, it's when you're asking a lot to move tackle to tackle.
Well, it's just like boxing. You have guys that are dominant punching left-handed or dominant punching right-handed, and they train to do it that way. They don't just switch in the middle of the fight. I mean, you have your rare occasions where guys are elite and they can do both, but there's a reason you're either a southpaw or punch with your right hand, because that's what you do best.
Josh Pate made a great point about not having players locked into their star ratings and their college teams like Signetti looking at production. We've been talking about that for weeks. Once you step on campus, your star rating from high school does not matter. That is like writing a term paper as a senior in high school. It doesn't matter when you get to college.
We've been saying that for decades.
Well, but I mean, when people talk about the transfer portal, they want to tell you, oh, he was a 4-star out of high school.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, okay. Why is he behind 3 guys at his position now?
Yeah.
I want to know what you've done and what you've shown, because you can learn bad habits and you can just maybe have played against little small kids and weren't that good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's fun to say for the sake of like making fans feel good. He was a this rating and now he's coming to play for our team. For example, I mean, even with our quarterback, Connor Wigman, he was one of the best high school quarterbacks in the country. He was a 5-star. And it's great to say that to give some reason to be excited, but it truly didn't matter. We didn't know that because he was a 5-star, he was going to have the years that he had. But thankfully he didn't.
Connor would be the first to tell you that he came here not as a 5-star. He came here as a guy that had to prove himself. And he did. He was tougher than any of us thought. Why is that one on this screen?
No clue.
I think I accidentally clicked it.
Ghost.
That's on me.
Okay. All right.
I don't like Josh Pate.
That's fine.
And I especially didn't like him whenever he decided. It's funny he says that like he's like some kind of fucking genius that all of a sudden the deep thinker. When 2 weeks ago the dickhead was saying the G5s don't even belong here. They play a different sport. They don't belong in the discussion of the playoff. But now, look, Signetti's done it. Oh, look, Signetti's having success with this. This is what everybody should do. Yeah, no shit, dumbass. Great players are great players wherever they're at. Remember, Case Keenum was a 2-star. Okay.
Was he?
That's what we always say. Every 2-star after Case Keenum. Hey, remember? Case Keenum was a 2-star.
Brad's Josh Pate take sponsored by So you got that, Josh Pate.
Yeah, the whole argument this year about with him and Joel Klatt shitting on the G5s and then just jocking every single G5, G6 that comes up and how great they are, going to be great additions here. It's like, Indiana was built last year on JMU transfers. Yeah. I mean, I think they had like 5 or 6 starters on that. From JMU. They did. I mean, they're the best players of that. I mean,
Martin, why do you think Signetti is hitting unprecedented hit rates on under-recruited players? They're evaluating better than anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's truly that simple. They're trusting their eyes. I mean, they're watching players and they're like, we think this guy can do what we want to do. We don't really care what the rating is. Now, don't get me wrong, especially now you can see with some of the high schools, I think they brought in recently a couple of 4-stars. They're still going to recruit the top end talent because they trust themselves as coaches that they can turn them into what they think they need. Mm-hmm. But yeah, a 3-star recruit is a good football player. For one, I think it's just easy to say we're not getting 4s and 5s, and so you get upset with the program. But I think they're trusting their evaluation on players. They know what it is they want them to do in schematically and what they want, and they're not getting wrapped up in who else is offering. I will say that sometimes a school will hold off on offering a kid because other people haven't. And once they see a certain level of program do it, then they know that there's like confirmation bias from themselves. Like, okay, now we can offer them because such and such is interested. Where I think they're just They watch a player, they evaluate him, and they decide that they can do what we need them to do, and then they recruit him. I just think it's probably that simple.
I do too. Brad, not a Josh Pate fan. Me, hate Joel Klatt way worse. Just not a fan. Just not a fan.
Both
Don't
just
think
like
he
both.
really is that good on a Big Ten call either. I mean, there's
No, I
just
think
so
he's
far
think
you can
bad
go.
announcer. I think he was a bad quarterback. I think his hot takes are just moronic. But hey, they get the people talking on Twitter, and they got us talking about him now. So I guess that's in today's
Look at
society.
us.
That's what they do.
Marcus Jones was not highly rated. He's making plays right now in the playoffs. Marcus Jones is a unicorn, frankly.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy is doing things crazy. He did crazy things here. He did crazy things at Troy. What did he have? 7 returns for touchdowns? 6 maybe?
He had at least 2 in
don't
the SMU game.
He's
SMU game. He had him in the USF game. Yeah, I mean, it's him and Tyrone Carrier for this program.
Well, I'm just talking about overall college football. I mean, he's
for sure.
Devin Hester right up there.
Tyrone Matthew, Marcus Jones, and Tyrone Carrier. Just, the U of H guys did not get that national run, but Carrier and Marcus changed games, changed seasons for you returning kicks. So,
yes. No, I mean, Marcus Jones at 5'10" is a first-round pick.
I don't know what this means. Towns just got my sub on the alt account.
Pate rant.
Okay. Well, congrats. Arch Manning is a perfect example of a 5-star who played bad camp in a competition in high school and is at best an average. If you ever see Arch at Isidore Newman, the film of him playing, it's basically what appear to be little people on the other side of the field. He's playing small private school football in Louisiana. And I get you can go and see the tools and see the whatever, but that film didn't teach me anything. I thought he played pretty well down the stretch of this season in that A&M game, in the bowl game. He showed you some toughness that he maybe didn't think he had. And I'm not here to gloss him or anything, but I just think he got better. He had unreal expectations, and the stuff with viewers and all that, just nobody did him any favors. And him signing and doing all those commercials before the season didn't do him any favors. But he's becoming a better quarterback.
Yeah. And you talked earlier about Cignetti, and I think he has a unique perspective in that, he worked for Nick Saban at Bama, and so he's seen the elite of the elite back when they were at their pinnacle. But he humbled himself and took really low-level jobs so he could get and do what he wanted to do. But
he was at Indiana University of Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Was it IUPUI?
No, that's different. But
is it?
Yes. IUPUI is Indiana University, Pennsylvania University at Indianapolis. U of H played him in basketball in the 2008 or 9, maybe. But yeah, no, they've got crazy stuff up there. Anyways, go ahead, Brad.
But he's a guy that he has, many would say, overconfidence, but he has a firm belief that he knows what a ball player looks like, and he doesn't care. I mean, like he said before, I'm my own GM. I find my players, I bring them in, and I don't need anybody else to do it for me. And it comes down to picking ball players. And I think Willie is the exact same way, that they ignore everything and they just go with what they see. And there's no other outside influence.
It's a weird way to do it.
There's not, the street agents pitching here and there. And, you've got 14 analysts who look at 247 and on 3 and say, well, this kid's got he's right on the edge of being a 5-star. He's just so close. You got to get him. And look at all the other teams that are offering.
I like looking at who else offered to tell me, because I don't have that level of insight. But if you're doing that as a head coach, you're going to be unemployed, and it ain't going to take long. You see programs just sail on recruiting and evaluation. Mac Brown is the best example. Kevin Sumlin did it. A lot of other guys in this state have done it, and it's just not going to work. You got to go put that work in, and you have a coach right now that does that work, and their hit rate is incredible. Because you weren't recruiting mid-level P4 last year. You were getting the bottom guys, and you did something with it. You got help from the schedule, but you went and won the games. And that's all you can do. So anyways, I think that's going to be about it for us tonight. I feel like we got through quite a bit. It's an hour and 40 minutes. Goodness. Martin, do you have any final thoughts you want to share with the good people?
It's kind of something I've been thinking about. There's a kid. I'm used to saying kid. He's in college now, but besides the point. Carson Williams went to Westfield here in Houston. Kid, again, looked over, didn't get a ton of offers. He had Kansas State, I think was his best offer in terms of like Power 4 or whatever. But he ended up going to Montana State. Played there for 2 years. He's a redshirt freshman, and he is now going to play at Indiana. And the point I'm getting to is I think that's what's going to happen. You're going to get these kids in high school that get overlooked because in the transfer portal, they can bring in guys who are physically ready to do what they want. They've been in Power 4 programs. They've been in college, working out, getting strength ready to go. So they're, instead of bringing in a guy to develop them, which is what used to be done, these guys are going somewhere else to play and end up playing the high level football you might think they can, like Carson Williams, for example, who just won an FCS championship as a redshirt freshman, playing a lot of ball for Montana State, and is now going to Indiana, who might win the national championship. And I think teams are going teams are going to start shooting themselves in the foot, or maybe going to have to start rethinking. Maybe we do need to bring guys in out of high school that we think can develop into something and not always want to transfer to bring in as a veteran. Now, of course, you've got to establish your program and have a baseline level of guys that you think can play 2 or 3 deep. But Willie and his staff have done a great job of recruiting, especially in the portal with what they were given. I know very well. But some of these guys that are leaving Houston, I think it's just the city we're in. It's the example I'm going to use. Hopefully some of these kinds of guys are going to stay in the city because along with him, the other 2 corners, the 3 corners that played a lot, were all from Texas, all redshirt freshmen. Jace McMillan was another kid from Houston, and they all 3 are going Power 4 from being under recruited out of high school with their redshirt freshmen going from Montana State to Power 4. 2 years into their college career. And I just think that's kind of a trend that smart programs can look into and maybe bring these kinds of kids in to develop rather than allowing them to leave their city and then have to pay them more to bring them back.
Towns, I do not want a final thought from you. Instead, answer this. Which game do you have the most hours in?
Oh, yeah. All right. The game with the most hours, that would be Elder Scrolls Online. That's way too many hours in that. But the other 2 after that would be the Division 1. And then probably Ark Survival Evolved. So Yeah, we're talking about way too many hours in all of those. Those are my top three.
Martin, which of those games is your favorite?
I think I played the Division.
I did Division, but never played it.
Is the Division, is that like a shooter game?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I played that.
The first one was in New York, and the second one was in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Hey, man, 10,000 hours. I put my time in.
Malcolm Gladwell said you need to do something for 10,000 hours to be an expert at it. Are you saying you are now an expert at, what is it, Elder Scrolls Online?
I was.
Okay. You was.
Top tier raider. Yeah.
Yeah. That's something. Star Pizza went to get my wife a gift at Rice Village Diamonds while wearing my U of H hat, and the owner couldn't stop fawning over E-Man and his family and made sure to mention his father is a legend. Thanks, Mike. Hopefully you got your wife something nice. I heard the tip time for Sunday might change. So there is no tip time. You got two choices here. I think they have to give it to you tomorrow. You've seen 6-day windows used way all the time in football. I've never seen it done like this in basketball. I think you're going to see it more and more now, especially as, you're on Fox, you're on ABC, you're going to have games on CBS, you're going to have games on ESPN. They're all going to be dealing with NFL playoff games, and you just got to figure that out. So I think you're going to see a lot more of it. We appreciate you, Towns. Neat. This was for Galen. We didn't get to it. Galen, what was the vibe like at Baylor during the game? Painful. Did not go well for the guys in white.
If that's his real beard, that is badass. Top notch.
Well, all right. I've got to throw the glasses on because I can't.
I'm envious.
Oh, look at that. Okay. There you go, George. Gaming stream with Towns on 4 quarters.
Oh yeah.
Y'all go have a great time.
Hey, I'm ready to do it. I'm not good at a lot of stuff that takes skill, but I'm good at arc. Damn it, I can tame dinosaurs. I can build buildings. Hit me up on Satisfactory, baby.
Okay. Speaking of Sumlin, how about that new job with the Houston Gamblers? Whew. The city bar scene had been struggling since Dana left. You'd seen bars going under because they weren't paying their taxes. The Maple Leaf, one of those, right off of Elgin. But Sumlin back in town, that changes the game for bars in this city. Like to see it. Welcome back, Kevin. Did you have anything, Brad? Okay.
To see everybody. Now I'm getting all my fellow nerds out here. See, y'all didn't know, man. I'm hardcore, dude.
Yeah, hardcore. That's what I think when I think of you. Who are we targeting at wide receiver now that Barnes committed elsewhere? I think you're going to be okay. Trent Walker was legit when you played him. Yeah. And I think that's what did he do? What did he have in that game? He had 100 yards, right?
He had back-to-back years of almost 900 yards. So very productive in general.
He had 103 yards on 7 catches in that game. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that you put him across from Amari Thomas and you see what you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I love Boogie Johnson. but Walker is just more proven production wise on the other side of Amari Thomas. So you have another established player on the other side of Amari Thomas that you didn't have last year.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't think, especially with adding a young guy like Tyson Turner, and they've brought in 2 pretty good receivers in the recruiting class as well. Out of high school, I just, if a good player falls into their lap, I don't think they're going to say no. But I don't know that they're going out of their way to add another one.
Okay. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us tonight. This was a lot of fun. We'll be back in 2 nights. You play at 7:30 Tuesday night.
Nice.
Haven't seen a lot of 7:30 games lately. I don't remember the last one, but it's on FS1. So 7:30 tip. We'll be here after the game for the Cougar Afterthought Show. Thanks to Star Pizza, to Section 12X, and the good people at the Ritz. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Towns is going back to his Twitter beavers, and I'm going to bed. Thank you, Martin, for sitting with us for a while. Thanks to Galen, and thanks to Emanuel Sharp. And we will see y'all Tuesday night.